Alright, recently I made this short video. I didn't think anything much of it. I showed a few clips of exercises that don't make you jump higher, followed by exercises that do make you jump higher. This video was meant for engagement because, like I always say, everything can contribute to your vertical in a system. But the video was simple. Some things just don't drive adaptation as well. And surprisingly, I got a bit of backlash from that. As you can see, I showcased a reverse Nordic curl, a tib raise with a kettlebell, moderate jogging, and a step down to represent things that don't make you jump higher. Then I followed it by exercises that actually move the needle. Sprints, pogo jumps, max jumping, heavy lifting. Seems pretty obvious, right? Exercises that provide low load and low intent won't help you jump higher nearly as much as exercises with very high intent and high loading and specificity. I guess not, because every single comment under this video disagreed with me. The main argument that people were trying to make was that I was throwing shade at Ben Patrick and that the first few exercises that I showed in that video are more so for health and recovery. And that's the exact myth I'm talking about. That doing these so-called functional movements are going to automatically keep you healthy and keep you injury free. It's bullshit, and I want to talk about it. You're not going to stay pain free just because you did reverse Nordic curls and tibialis raises. There's no direct correlation between staying healthy and doing these functional movements. They're literally no different from doing any other exercise. It's meant to strengthen a specific part of your body. And don't even get me started on fascia training. A step down isn't inherently better for your knees than a regular barbell squat. These exercises are just like any other. Their benefit depends on how you program it and when you program it in a specific system. The thing that keeps you healthy and keeps you progressing long term isn't sprinkling in some functional movements, it's load management. This is basically managing the amount of stress your body takes week to week, making sure you're staying under the threshold of injury. And that means gradually progressing on heavy lifts and jumping, resting enough, and adjusting intensity and volume accordingly. Is it still possible to get injured while managing load? Yes. Athletes can be stubborn and can push beyond that. Also, when we're training for elite performance, you're going to be training close or at your limit most of the time. There's a risk with it, and you got to be willing to accept that. And I want to specifically talk about this comment right here from Scott. No hate towards you at all. The goal of mine is just to clear any misinformation out there on social media. You said that you remained injury-free since you were in high school from doing these functional movements, and now you're 36 years old. That's amazing, and I wish that type of health for everybody. But here's the hard truth. If you went through 20 years without suffering a single injury, it's not because you did these functional exercises, but because you've never pushed your body anywhere near its limit. You didn't train as hard as other elite athletes, so that's obviously going to keep you pain-free. And that's totally fine if staying healthy is your goal. However, this channel is for those who want to reach their genetic potential. That's a whole different beast. Jump training is hard. Achieving elite performance is hard. At first, gains are going to be easy because literally anything will increase your vertical. But as you get more elite, at some point to really move the needle, you're training on a thin line between adaptation and overload. You're basically flirting with this threshold of injury because it takes this amount of work to see adaptation. And this little area between adaptation and injury is what you need to work within to promote adaptation. That's what it takes to get to an elite level. And sometimes, even if you know what you're doing, you're gonna step over that line of overload. Not because you're dumb, but because pushing human performance comes with a risk. Almost every great athlete has suffered an injury because of this. But you need to know what you're doing at the end of the day, and most athletes don't. And this is why you should sign up for Get a Vertical if you want to take training seriously. Stop wasting time with random exercises. Stop guessing with your training. Instead, allow me to create a personalized program tailored to you so we can see what your absolute ceiling is. Heads up, this isn't for everybody. If you're casual about training or sports, then don't sign up. But if you're ready to see elite gains like the hundreds of other athletes I've coached, then apply for Get Up with the link in my description, and I'll reach out to you if you're a good fit. Just a heads up, I'm not glorifying injury. I'm not saying you have to get hurt to get better. The goal is always to stay healthy as long as we can. But training for elite performance doesn't come with zero risk. Neither is playing basketball or playing football or MMA or jumping higher. There's literally a risk with everything. If you want to stay injury free, then stay on the couch and play video games. Don't train at all. Pushing your limits carries risk, and most athletes are willing to go through that. So if your goal is to perform at a high level, be prepared to accept these risks. Addressing the other comments that claim that these functional exercises will keep you healthy if you do them, that's where the whole functional training keeps you healthy idea gets misunderstood. Will they keep you healthy? Yes and no. Yes, because they're nowhere near intense enough to cause injury, and no, because they're not going to prepare you for the demands of sport. So if you go from doing these functional exercises into playing a full season of basketball, you're going to hurt yourself because you haven't prepared for that. Those two things, playing sport and doing functional training exercises, are two different stimuli, not even remotely close to each other in terms of intensity. You know what will prepare you for the demands of sport? Heavy lifting, explosive training, sprinting. Don't overthink it. These mobility drills or knee health exercises and fancy accessory movements, they can help. I'm not saying they can't. They're like any other exercise. They can be tools in a holistic program. But I just want to emphasize, the main thing that's going to keep you healthy and keep you progressing long term is smart load management, not just sprinkling in bulletproof exercises and hoping for the best. This is literally like if you were playing basketball 7 days a week with knee pain, but you decide to keep playing basketball 7 days a week and add a few sets of tibialis raises and stretches. You're not doing the main thing that's going to keep you healthy, which is cutting down down basketball and managing the amount of load your body is going through. I'm not against these functional exercises if they target a specific weakness, and if you want to do them, by all means add them to your routine. Just don't confuse them with the main drivers of jumping higher and staying healthy. The real key is how you load, progress, and manage your training week to week. The whole system rather than individual tools. But yeah, this was just a little tangent off the top of my head, because after seeing those comments, I was like, damn, so many misinformed people out there, so many guys who aren't educated in the subject, and I just want to share what I know. But yeah, that's all. Sign up for GetUp, and I'll talk to you guys soon.